Maline mochanam pumsam jalasnana dine dine sakrit gita amritasnanam sansara mala nashanam. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, so thank you so much for joining in this auspicious month of Shri Purushottama. We will be reading Purushottam Yoga, chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita. A lot of devotees are online, so what we will do, approximately 10 devotees are online. So we'll read 2 verses each, and I'll start with text number 1. So remember the acronym in the mind. Home, H is for home or hotel, the first 5 verses. Then we talk about over and over again, 6 to 11. Then we talk about the real maintainer, the Supreme Lord, from 11 to 16. And the last 5 verses talk about the essence. The Supreme Lord is the real essence and the process of bhakti. So this will help us too. There's a very summary of the summary. Quick. So let's study this wonderful chapter. Atha Panchodasha Purushottama Yoga. Text 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Urdhvamulam adha shakham ashwatham prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavid. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upwards and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. Text 2. Adhaschordhavam prastristasya shakha guna pravriddha vishaya pravala adhascha mulani anusantatani karmanubandhini manushya-loke. The branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the 3 modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. Yes, Nandini Mataji, you want to read 3 and 4?
Sure, Dandavats. Narupam asyeha tathapo palabhyayate nanto chadirna cha sampratishtha ashwathama enam suviruddha moolam asanga shastrena dridhena chitva tathapadam tat parimarga gitavyayam yasmin gatana nivartani bhuya tam eva chadyam purusham prapadde yata pravritta prashtra purani. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to the supreme personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial.
Thank you.
Nirmana mohajita sangadosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandva ver vimukta sukha dukha samner gachanti amudha padam avyayam tat. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom.
Thank you. Vishal, Prabhu, would you like to read next 2 verses?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, dear devotees. Natad basyate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatva na nivrittante tad dhamma paramam mama. That supreme abode of mine, is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. Mammai vamsho jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana, manna sastanindriyani, prakriti stanhi karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Vipul Prabhu, you want to read next two? And just for reference, some are highlighted in green. That means they are more important for memorization if one would like. They're highlighted in green. 6, 7, and 15 are really important. And then if you want to learn, so learn 6, 7, and 15, and then others in the green. Okay.
Hare Krishna devotees, all blessed Srila Prabhupada. Text 8. Shorirang jat vapnoti jat chaput kramotisharo brihi toitani sangjati vayur gandha nivashayat. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Thus he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. Text 9. Sotro chokshu sparshanam cha rasanam granumevo cha odhisthaya manaschayam vishanu pasya bhate. Sotam, the living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, Umesh Prabhu, you want to read next two?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunatmitam vimudana pashanti jnana chakshushaha. Translation: the foolish cannot understand how a living entity can fit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. Text 11. Yatanto yoginaschainam pashanti atmana avasthitam yatanto api akritatmano nainam pashanti achetasaha. Translation: the enduring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly, but those whose mind are not developed and who are not situated in the self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Raghu Prabhu, you want to read the next two?
Is it 15,
12. 12 and 13.
15, 12?
Correct.
Okay. Hare Krishna, devotees. Yad aditya gatam tejo jagat vasyate kilam yad chandramasi yad chagnau tat tejo vidhi mama kam. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of the fire also from me. Can you raise it up? Okay. Kam avishya cha bhutani daryayami aham ojasa usnami kasudi sarvaha samo bhutva rasatmaka. I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. Thank you. Right.
Yes, Kashish Mataji. Thank you, Raghu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvati Pranam, all devotees. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritah प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पञ्चाम् अन्नं चतुर्विधम्. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuff. Text 15. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदये सन्निविष्टो मतः स्मृति ज्ञानाम् अपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वमेव वैद्यो वेदान्तकृते दविदेव च अहम्. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of Vedas. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. This is the most often quoted verse from this chapter, so everyone should at least try to learn this one. Okay, number 16, 17. Who would like to read? Sudhir Prabhu?
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavata Pranam. Dvai imau purushaloke ksara eva cha Shara sarvani bhutani kutasto kshara uchyate. There are 2 classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. Number 17. Uttama purushastva anya paramatye udharate yo lokatrayam avishya bibhatre avyaya ishvara. Besides these 2, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Arundhati Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, go ahead, please.
यस्माक्षरम् अतीतोऽहम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रतितः पुरुषोत्तमः. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Text 19. यो माम् एवम् असम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारत. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata.
Thank you. Text number, if you observe, text number 17, 18, and 19 all have the word Purushottamam. That's what the title of the chapter is. Okay, Lakshmi Mataji, you want to read? Last verse.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Text 20. Iti gukshatmam shastram idam uktam maya naga etat buddhva buddhim shayat kritva krityascha bharata. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Om Tatsat iti Śrīmad-Bhāgavad-Gītāshu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purushottama Yoga Nama Panchodasha Adhyayaha. Thus ends the Bhakti-Vinda translation to the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita in the matter of Purushottama Yoga, the yoga of supreme person. Hare Krishna. So thank you to all the devotees who joined beforehand, and we are right on time for our Bhagavatam class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. In the two shlokas for Purushottama Mantha, Govardhanam dharam vande gopala goparupinam gokulautsavameshanam govindam gopika priyam vande navaghana shama dvibhujam muralidharam pitambaradharam devam sharadham purushottamam. Everyone should try to recite these two shlokas every day multiple times. So thank you everyone. Please accept my humble obeisance and for joining in this special month of Purushottama. And if you can turn on your videos, it's nice. And today is Friday, so it's the last day of the week. And I understand that few devotees have still not got a chance to read. So I would like all those devotees who have not yet got a chance to read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the past 4 days to please raise your hand. And I would try my best to make sure you get a chance to read today. So looks like Arundhati Mataji is ready to read. Just a quick recap. We read till text number 26 yesterday, reading and discussing about the importance of Guru. Guru is very, very important in one's life. And we discussed yesterday that Etat Sarvam Gurau Bhaktya, that all the above mentioned obstacles can be conquered by taking shelter of Guru. So with that, now let's start the next shloka. Since there are more devotees who would like to read, and Arundhati Mataji, you start the shloka, you read the translation and the first paragraph of the purport, and then Kashish Mataji can read the next half of the purport. Please start.
Okay, can I see do you have the screen?
You have Bhagavatam at home? Just checking.
I need to buy from you. Then...
Yes, that's a very good idea. Okay, I'll surely arrange for you. You like English or Bengali?
English.
English?
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Sure. I'll arrange for you very soon. Okay. You should be able to see the screen now. Do you see it?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yesa vai Bhagavan Shankar. Yesa vai Bhagavan Sagat Pradhana Purushatvara Yogeshwara Bhima Gayangiri Loko Yam Manate Naram. So next. The translation is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is the master of all other living entities and of the material nature. His lotus feet are sought and worshipped by great saintly persons like Vaishya. Nonetheless, there are fools who consider Lord Krishna an ordinary human being. Purport. The example of Lord Krishna as being the Supreme Personality of Godhead is appropriate in grade to understanding in the spiritual master. The spiritual master is called Sevaka Bhagavan. The severator personality of Godhead and Krishna is called Sheva Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is to be worshipped. The spiritual master is the worshipper God, whereas the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the worshipable God. This is the difference between the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam to all devotees, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Another point, Bhagavad Gita, which constitutes the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is presented by the spiritual master as it is without deviation. Therefore, the absolute truth is present in the spiritual master. As clearly stated in text 26, Jnana Deepa Prade, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives real knowledge to the entire world, and the spiritual master, as the representative of the Supreme Godhead, carries the message throughout the world. Therefore, on the absolute platform, there is no difference between the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If someone considers the Supreme Personality, Krishna or Lord Ramachandra, to be an ordinary human being, this does not mean that the Lord becomes an ordinary human being. Similarly, if the family members of the spiritual master, who is the bona fide representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, consider the spiritual master as ordinary human being, this does not mean that he becomes an ordinary human being. The spiritual master is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore, one who is very serious about spiritual advancement must regard the spiritual master in this way. Even a slight deviation from this understanding can create disaster in the disciples' Vedic studies and austerities. Thank you. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Arundhati Mataji and Kashish Mataji for reading.
Thank you.
So this we were discussing yesterday that spiritual master is walking Krishna, talking Krishna is as good as God. Now here the difference is explained. What is the difference? One is called Sevaka and one is Sevaya. Sevaya means who is the real, we discussed a few verses back in the last chapter, the Desha Kala Patra. Who is the right Patra to be worshipped? That's Krishna. The right Savior. So he's called the Sevaya Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And who is the Sevaka Bhagwan? The Guru, who helps to share the message of the Supreme Lord and to propagate that message, like how Srila Prabhupada propagated the message to all the entire world. And Lord Chaitanya gave this message. Prabhupada did not create something new. He just spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. The Goswamis didn't create something new. They expanded and shared the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So this is the duty of Sevak Bhagwan. They don't say, I am God. They don't say, worship me. They say, worship Krishna. They connect us to Krishna through the medium of Parampara. Any guru who proclaims himself or herself as God is actually, Prabhupada said, dog. Guru is one who takes us to Krishna, not who says, okay, forget Krishna, worship me only. But as a disciple, we should understand that we must give as good respect to the spiritual master like God. But the Guru will not demand respect. The scriptures, even if someone offends Guru will say, okay. But as a disciple, if someone offends Guru or consider him as an ordinary person, that's Guru Aparad. Then that person is referred to here as fool, who consider the Lord as an ordinary being, or even considers Guru as an ordinary being. We discussed that was considered as elephant bathing and then putting dirt over oneself. So not a very healthy idea. So the idea is, even Lord Balram is said to be as Sevaka Bhagavan, and Guru is the expansion of Lord Balram actually. So this verse explains the difference between Guru versus God. Guru connects us to God. Guru does not say, I am God. Guru helps us to connect to God. He is the bona fide representative of God, and he is a bona fide sevak of God, who is trying to serve Krishna in different ways and engaging his disciples to worship Krishna in different ways. Any comments, questions anyone has in this text?
So, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, I have one question from the last verse, where Prabhupada is writing that one should strictly adhere to the instructions of the spiritual master. Strictly adhere. So, devotees like me who are neophyte always has apprehensions that whether I'll be able to follow the instruction of the spiritual master strictly. So, in that case, should I wait to get a spiritual master, or I should initiate, and that firm faith and those things will come automatically?
Sincere desire should be there. Sincere desire should be there. Okay, I'm not yet following strictly, but Krishna, please help me. I want sincere endeavor should be there. We will, a devotee never feels that I am strictly adhering. A devotee, he or she will never feel in his heart like that. He will always feel there is so much more to be done to please Gurudev, to please my spiritual master, to please Vaishnavas. But are we sincerely trying? Is there a sincere desire to follow? If there is no desire to follow, then why do we need spiritual master? Then we can just enjoy in so-called material world. So if there is a desire, then yes, we should keep moving. I mean, we should not wait for it's like we can't wait. Okay, I'll become a pure devotee and then I'll take initiation. That's not the process. Initiation means to officially begin the initiation doesn't mean we are pure devotees. Initiation means we have a sincere desire. I vow I will try my best. I'll try my best. I have a desire to do it. I'm not yet there, but I want to do it. Yes, Prabhu, you were saying something. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna devotees Dandavatan. I just want to make one point here. There is one verse in Bengali. It says, Krishna rushto hoile guru rakhibare pare. And guru rushto hoile Krishna rakhibare nare. Which means that if Krishna is upset with someone, Guru can help that person. He can go to Krishna and beg Krishna that please, I'm going to be responsible. But if Guru is upset with someone, then Krishna even cannot help there. That person has to go and ask for forgiveness to the Guru. So just want to add that verse. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you. That's same as our Vaishnava bhajan. Haristhane aparadha Hari namatar, Tomasthane aparadha na paipeyar. If someone offends Hari, then or Hari Nam will purify. But Tomasthane Vaishnava aparadha, oh, no hope. Okay, so couple of you joined a little later, so I requested if you have not read for the entire week, please raise your hand, and I want to make sure you get a chance to read. So Raghu Prabhu, you read this verse and the first paragraph, and then Vishal, you read the next paragraph of this verse.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna devotees, text 28. Sad Varga Satya Maikantaha Sarva Niyama Kodana tad anta yadino yogan aveyu sramavaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Ritualistic ceremonies, regulative principles, austerities, and the practice of yoga are all meant to control the senses and mind. But even after one is able to control the senses and mind, if he does not come to the point of meditation upon the Supreme Lord, all such activities are simply labor and frustration. Purport. One may argue that one may achieve the ultimate goal of life, realization of the super soul, by practicing the yoga system and ritualistic performances according to the Vedic principles, even without staunch devotion to the spiritual master. The actual fact, however, is that by practicing yoga, one must come to the platform of meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in the scriptures, Dhyana Vashita Tat Katena Manasa Pasyantiyam Yogena. A person in meditation achieves the perfection of yoga practice. A person in meditation achieves the perfection of yoga practice when he can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By various practices, one may come to the point of controlling the senses, but simply controlling the senses does not bring one to a substantial conclusion. However, by staunch faith in the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one not only controls the senses, but also realizes the Supreme Lord. Should I stop here? Stop here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Vishal Prabhu.
Can you tell me which text you're at, Prabhu? We're in Canto 7, correct?
7, 15, 28.
7, 15, 28.
Page 776.
You want me to read text 29?
No, we are in the middle of the purport. Yasya Devi Parabhaktir. In the middle of the purport.
Yasya Devi Parabhaktir Yata Devi Tata Guru Tasya te Katita Hi Artha Prakashante Mahatmana. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of the Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. Svetasvatara Upanishad 6.23. It is further stated, Tusyayam Sarva Bhutatma Guru Surushayant Taranti Angyo Bhavarnavam. Simply by rendering service to the spiritual master, one crosses the ocean of nescience and returns home back to Godhead. Thus he gradually sees the Supreme Lord face to face and enjoys life in association with the Lord. The ultimate goal of yoga is to come in contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unless this point is achieved, one's so-called yoga practice is simply labor without any benefit. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We are reading text 28. So thank you, Raghu Prabhu and Vishal Prabhu. This verse explains what is the purpose of yoga. Yoga has become a very, very big business. Billions of dollars of business are being spent on the name of yoga. And majority of them, the goal is to enjoy, to have a better body, strong body, to enjoy more. There is no concept of service. There is no concept of bhakti. So that yoga, which is, where there is no bhakti, it is said here, Shrama evaha, a waste of time and labor. Because what is the perfection of yoga? To take shelter of bona fide spiritual master. Samadhi, Siddhi, Ishvara, Pranidhana. In the Ashtanga Yoga process, there are multiple branches like Yama, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So Samadhi is like the 8th step. Samadhi is the 8th step or the final step. And what is the perfection of Samadhi? To take shelter of the Supreme Lord. That is the perfection of yoga. If one is not leading to that stage, dharma sunishtita pumsam vishwaksena kathasuya na utpadya yadiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. Same words are there, shrama eva hi kevalam. One can do one's life perfectly, good health, good wife, good life, good job, good children, good everything. No bhakti, shrama eva kevalam. Futile labor. That's what the scriptures are saying here. So the essence is to take shelter of Krishna, and we can do so by taking shelter, by rendering service unto the bona fide spiritual master who will deliver us from the ocean of nescience, and one will be able to see Krishna face to face. Such Prabhupada is writing so beautifully. He sees Krishna face to face and enjoys life in the association. Who does not want to do that? And what's the process? Taking shelter of bona fide spiritual master. So all these verses from 25 onwards are talking about this importance of Guru. Any other comments, questions anyone has?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu, in this translation, Prabhupada is saying that one need to come to the conclusion to do the meditation on Supreme Lord. So how to start the meditating on Lord? Is it any way easier? Thank you.
Yeah. We say mantra meditation. Harinam is not different. Harinam is not different from the Supreme Lord. So meditating upon the holy names of the Lord, that's the japa meditation, mantra meditation. So that is the, we don't have to force or artificially force ourselves. We just have to hear attentively, hearing attentively the holy name. And so one can, if the mind is getting too much distracted, one can sit in the front of deities, one can sit in front of Tulasi Devi, one can sit in front of like a flash mantra card or something like that, and just with the eyes one can see the deities or the mantra card, with the ears one can hear the holy name, with the tongue one can chant the holy name. That's the best meditation as per our scriptures.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Jyoti Mataji, you were speaking something, sorry.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. When I read this verse, I was thinking, how do we know if whatever we are endeavoring to do is in the right direction or just Shamayeva Kevalam? Like sometimes, many times I had this question, whatever I'm doing in the path of bhakti, is I'm doing it in the right direction or not, or it is just Shama, or just I'm endeavoring so much without um, really accounting to anything. So
That's a very good question. That how do we know? Are we moving on the right track, or have we taken a wrong path? Very simple ways. This can be answered in multiple aspects. When you eat good food, you feel nourished, correct? No one has to give you a stamp. Oh, you must be feeling happy now. You ate good food. And when we eat bad food or when we overeat, we feel bad, right? We feel, oh, I feel so lazy. I feel so. So then, if one is introspective, one will get a sign. Okay, next time I should not overeat. Next time I should not eat. This is unhealthy for me, or this is not the right food stuff for me. So one way is to be introspective. Is my lust, anger, greed, envy increasing, or is it going downhill? Am I moving in the right path? Is my attention towards Krishna's name, form, qualities, holy name increasing? Or is it, increasing towards other mundane things like movies and games and parties and discos. I'm just giving general examples, not specific to you. General. So, what kind of attachments are increasing in my heart? That's a sign. Where am I advancing? Am I advancing more in the material side or the spiritual side? Another very important way is to check with our teachers, Guru Sadhu Shastra, to always be introspective. As His Grace Visheshika Prabhu says, I live to be corrected. We always have room for improvement. And when we open ourselves, Goya Makheti Prachati, when we ask, oh, Prabhuji, I'm struggling with this. Oh, Mataji, I'm struggling with this. Please help me. So rather than hiding our shortcomings, we should open our shortcomings in confidence to the right person, so we can be, we don't go off track too far. Even if we sometimes take in GPS, you're driving and you have a GPS, and then you could take a bad turn or a wrong turn. What does the GPS system do? It will introspect. There's the mechanism, and it will say, okay, you took a wrong turn, your journey will be about 5 minutes longer, but now you take this turn. So even if we take a wrong turn or a wrong step in our bhakti, let's say do something which is not very, but if we have a good introspective mechanism which gives us feedback, okay, this turn you took was not the right turn, now you take this turn, now don't repeat that turns, otherwise journey will keep extending. So multiple ways, being introspective, it will give us sign. We feel happy when we genuinely engage in bhakti, and the material desires will just eventually fade away slowly, and spiritual desires should increase. Material. So checking in oneself and checking with Guru Sadhu Shastra is like a certificate how I am moving. Does that help?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Any other comments, additions before we move to text 29? Okay. So again, those who joined. Yes,
Can read
Srikant.
those.
Okay. Yeah, you read this one. Yeah, first paragraph, and then Kirti Mataji will read the next paragraph.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna devotees, Pranam. Text 29. Yata vartadyo hai atta yogasya artham na bidhrati anarthaya bhaveyu sma purtam ishtam tadastatah. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. As professional activity or business profits cannot help one in spiritual advancement but are a source of material entanglement, the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies cannot help anyone who is not a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. If one becomes very rich through his professional activity, through trade, or through agriculture, this does not mean that he is spiritually advanced. To be spiritually advanced is different from being materially rich. Although the purpose of life is to become spiritually rich, unfortunate men, misguided as they are, always engaged in trying to be materially rich. Such material engagements, however, do not help one in the actual fulfillment of the human mission. On the contrary, material engagements lead one to be attracted to many unnecessary necessities, which are accompanied by the risk that one may be born in degraded condition, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14:18. Prabhu, can I stop here?
Yes, Mataji, Kirti Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 14.18, ऊर्ध्वं गच्छति सत्त्वस्तः मध्ये तिष्ठति राजसः जगन्यात् गुणा वृत्तिस्था अधो गच्छन्ति तामसः. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on earthly planets, and those in the mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. Especially in this Kali Yuga, material advancement means degradation and attraction to many unwanted necessity that create a low mentality. Therefore, Jaganya Guna Vrittistha, since people are contaminated by the lower qualities, they will lead their next lives either as an animal or in other degraded forms of life. Making a show of religion without Krishna consciousness may take one popular in the estimation of unintelligent men, but factually, such materialistic display of spiritual advancement does not help one at all. It will prevent one from missing the goal of life. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kantru and Kirti Mataji, for reading. So this verse is talking about spiritual versus material richness. Text 21, a few verses back, we discussed about spiritual versus material greed, that how material greed binds us. Spiritual greed means tatra lolyam iti mulyam, ekamulyam, to hanker more bhakti. So similarly, hankering for spiritual richness, spiritual greed will make us spiritually rich. And what is spiritual richness? Developing attachment to Krishna, developing attachment to service, to Vaishnavas, to holy name, to Krishna's name form qualities, to holy dham, to Bhagvatam, to preaching, services, to see everything in Krishna conscious perspective. What is material richness? Wealth, name, fame, recognition, so-called modern, they research, academics, etc. These are the parameters for material richness. But someone could be materially a billionaire, but spiritually a pauper. On the contrary, someone could be materially a pauper, but spiritually very advanced, like Sudama example we discussed the other day. So the idea is we should focus more on spiritual richness, because that is the richness which will take us back home, back to Godhead, eternal richness. Lakshmana, why is Lakshmana? The name Lakshmana comes from Lakshmana, Lakshmi Sampanna. Lakshmi Sampanna. Well, someone may ask, what kind of Lakshmi, what kind of richness he had? He was in the forest, eating nothing, sleeping. He didn't sleep for 14 years. Materially, he had nothing. Serving Lord Ram, that was the Lakshmi. The service of Lord Ram is the biggest Lakshmi, is the biggest asset, is the biggest wealth of a devotee, the devotion and devotional qualities. So that is very healthy. And so we should never compromise spiritual richness for the sake of material richness. Material life is only to help us grow in our spiritual life. If that's not helping, then all material life is shramaya kevalam. So, and this verse we discussed yesterday, what is the destination of people in mode of goodness? So 14:18, very important verse also, often quoted. So urdhvam gachanti sattva, mode of goodness takes up. Madhya tishtanti rajasa, rajoguna, they in the middle. Tamasa, adho means down, gachanti tamasa. Urdhva mulam, adha shaka. See, that's how we should try to link. So the words will go deeper in our consciousness and we'll be able to, Urdhva is coming here. We just read Bhagavad Gita 15.1. Urdhva mulam, root is up, Urdhva, and Adha, Urdhva mulam, Adha shaka. So Adho gachanti, down is tamasa or ignorance. Any comments, questions? So far, everyone got chance to read in the last 5 days, 4 days? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Is it safe to say that we will be still remaining here on earthly planet by looking our activities? Yes, we are trying to follow the Krishna consciousness, but most of the time goes in the passion and dealing with this material world. On the other side, other day we read that even if you go there, once your credit is over, you are coming back to here. So Prabhupada ji is explaining very nicely here, gradually go upward. So even if you start here, it may be taking a lot of janmas to reach there. Am I right to think?
Hare Krishna. You are a nice devotee, Prabhu. You are doing activities in Shuddha Sattva. Most of your activities, you're serving the deities, you're serving Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, you are donating for Krishna conscious purposes, you're chanting the holy names, you're honoring Krishna Prasad. All these activities are in Shuddha Sattva. So from our personal side, we should always feel that I am very, very fallen. I have no hope. I'm so far. It seems like it will take millions of lifetimes for me because of my condition. Yet at the same time, one should not feel like, as Ananta Mataji said in her class, one should not. She was also feeling like that when Prabhupada explained in Chicago Temple that pure devotee means completely desireless, completely in Shuddha Sattva, completely sense control, mind control, this. She said, oh my God, it seems very hopeless. Prabhupada said, there is nothing such as hopelessness. So, yes, it may be difficult. It is difficult. It is simple. But yet at the same time, we have to try our best. We have to try our best and then pray to Krishna. Krishna, I don't think I can, I can make it on my own. You only can help me. Gurudev, I don't think I can make it on my own. You only help me. But their mercy will be proportionate to our sincerity. If I sleep and say, Gurudev, please help me, Krishna, please help me, well, am I doing anything to show that I really want it? If yes, they will certainly shower their mercy. It will help us to be humble. It will help us to be completely helpless and take more sincere shelter. And then they will shower their mercy. And then if it takes one lifetime or one moment or 10 lifetimes or million lifetime devotee says, Krishna, okay, pure devotee does not even want to go back home, back to Godhead. Like Prahlad Maharaj. He never said, Krishna, I'm done with here. My father has been torturing me up and down. Help me, just take me with you. He didn't say like that. What did he say? He said, take everyone else. Take everyone else. And I just can't see the suffering of others. So that's the level of pure devotee. Lord Chaitanya also said, didn't say, he said, Mama Janmani Janmanishwar Bhavtat Bhaktira Hetu Kitva. So we should not pray if we want to follow the path of pure bhakti. I mean, it's not bad to pray to that Krishna, take me from this material world and back to your home. But even better is to say, Krishna, whatever you desire, I will be yours, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking. Just don't keep me bereft of your bhakti. Janmani Janmanishwar Bhavtat Bhakti Rahetu Kitvai. Whether it is in this life, whether in the life of a dog, make me a dog in the home of a devotee. That is my only request, like Haridas Thakur is saying. So that's up to Krishna, how many lifetimes it will take. But how much sincerity I am showing, Prabhupada has said that someone asked the same question. It's a very, very famous video. Someone asked Prabhupada, it seems very difficult. Will we be able to do in this lifetime? Prabhupada said, 1 minute, 1 moment, not even minute. Khatwang Maharaj, 1 moment, perfected his life. Boom, back home, back to God. So there are examples of someone who perfected in 1 moment, someone in 1 life, someone in few lifetimes, Bharat Maharaj, someone in million lifetimes. There are examples of all those cases. Does that help? Don't feel hopeless.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Krishna will take care. We have to do our part. Any other comments, questions, additions? Okay, so we have time to read one more verse, so let's do that. I see Sneha Mataji. Would you like to read? Puna Mataji, did you get chance this week? Anyone who has not got chance, this is a time to raise your hand.
Probably I can read, but I will just take two minutes.
Okay.
Karina also wants to read.
Karina also wants to read. Okay.
Probably, can you tell me the text number, please?
30, 7, 15, 30. So Mataji, you read the verse, and maybe Karina can read translation, and then you read the purport again. Is that okay?
Sure.
Karina, you'll read the translation. You have it ready, or you want me to show the screen?
I'm ready.
I don't have the Bhagavad Gita here.
Okay, I'll open up the screen. You read the verse, Mataji, in the meantime.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji. Yes chitta vijayata syanni sango parigraha eko vikata sarano bhiskur bhaiksya mitasana.
Okay, Karina, you read translation, and then Puna Mataji will read the purport.
Okay, Prabhuji. Namaste devotees, all girls to Srila Prabhupada. One who desires to conquer the mind must leave the company of his family and live in a solitary place, free from committed association. To maintain the body and the soul together, he should beg as much as he needs for the bare necessities of life.
Hari
Thank you. Thank you, Karina.
What is?
Okay, you may continue the purport now.
Sure. Hare Krishna, everyone. This is the process for conquering the hesitation of the mind. One is recommended to take leave of family and live alone, maintaining body and soul together by begging alms and eating only as much as needed to keep himself alive. Without such a process, one cannot conquer lusty desires. Sannyasa means accepting a life of begging, which makes one automatically very humble and meek and free from lusty desires. In this regard, the following verse appears in the Srimad Smriti literature. Davanvahatsya grahatsyam dhyana bhangadi karanam laksyati itva gri sphastham sanyasad avicharayan. In this world of duality, family life is the cause that spoils one's spiritual life or meditation. Specifically understanding this fact, one should accept the order of sannyasa without hesitation. Hare Krishna. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Punamataji, for reading. So this verse is a little heavy, and it is for the stages after householder life, basically sannyas ashram. Now, household life is certainly entangling. There's absolutely no doubt in that. But Srila Prabhupada has given us the formula with which we can make progress in the household life itself. Even in the Mahajans, there are some Mahajans who followed the renunciate life, but there are some who followed the Grihastha life. So it is not that one cannot become a pure devotee in a household life. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a Grihastha in the household life. A couple of days was his disappearance day, and we discussed in great detail. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was renunciate. Both were pure devotees. So the idea is artificially giving up family. Hey, I'm going to forest. Chodo ghar baar, chalo Haridwar. Leave everything, go to Haridwar. That's not the our Bhakti Yoga process. The Bhakti Yoga process is to make our home Vrindavan by engaging all the family members in the process of bhakti, by worshipping Tulasi, by worshipping deities, by chanting the holy name together, by reading Bhagavad Gita together, by chanting by Bhagvatam together, by doing Kirtan together. That home is not different from Vrindavan. That person, Prabhupada said at other places, that person does not need to go anywhere, actually, because one is living in Vrindavan. One's mind and senses are controlled. One is not living like a Griha Medhi. Griha Medhi is just attached to senses, eating, sleeping, mating, etc. But Grihastha, Ashrama, is where spiritual culture is foremost. And one can make spiritual culture foremost in the Grihastha Ashrama as well. As all of you, most of you are in the Grihastha Ashrama, and you are such nicely practicing bhakti along with your family members and setting such a wonderful example. So, and on the contrary, one can go to the forest, and Prabhupada said one can give up one wife and go with 6 wives. What are the 6 wives? Lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion. They will continue to bind one. So, in the Bhakti Yoga process, especially in this day and age, the idea is to make our home Vrindavan. And that is the recommended process. And Prabhupada, it's not that I am just sharing it. Prabhupada has mentioned that at multiple places. Any comments, questions? Okay. So with that, we will stop here. And I hope everyone is having a wonderful time in Purushottam month, Adhik Mas, with Adhik mercy of the Lord. So we will, tomorrow, yes, don't forget, tomorrow is weekend. Weekend means extra mercy. Weekend mercy. So since tomorrow is weekend at 9 o'clock sharp, Prabhuji's class will start. His Grace Mahatma Prabhu is going to give a seminar on Japa. Japa, it's going to be wonderful. So please share with everyone. And I would like to continue our reading of Purushottam Yoga chapter. So I will do 20 minutes before, because I'm hoping and assuming a lot of other people will also be joining, since he is a very well-known person. So we'll start sharp at 8:40 a.m. We'll read for 15 minutes and 5-minute kind of, there'll be a break, so other devotees may be joining. So 8:40 to 8:55, we will read Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, and then the Japa seminar will begin. So, and also, as you know, that it would be nice if we all can share some contribution towards this seminar. He has not asked, that's a duty of a Vaishnava or a Brahmana, but our duty on our side, if you feel inspired and if you want to contribute, you can share, and I'll collect all that and transfer it to him towards the end of the seminar. That's totally voluntarily and totally your own personal choice. And also, one more important thing which I would like everyone to do, please, please, please share this with as many people as possible, because this is the main essence of our bhakti yoga process, is chanting the holy names. And this, he is a very, very expert teacher in this and has done multiple seminars, and you will feel great benefit. So let's share that benefit with others also by inviting them. Any questions before we stop today's? Any comments? Okay. Granth Raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktarinda ki jai. Jai Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm happy to see you all.
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Bol. Hare Krishna, Vihan. Hari Bol. Bye.
Hare Krishna,
Good
Prabhuji.
night.
Good night, Prabhuji.
Right.